Okay, welcome back. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the metadata for our new website. That is the meta title and meta description. So let's jump over to the site. Okay, just before we do, let's have a look at what the actual meta description is. Okay, so if we search our bigger keyword here and go down to our organic listings, so what you see here, this title here of this listing is actually pulled from the meta title of that we put into the back end of our website, and this little bit of data here is generally pulled from. This bit here is pulled from our meta description. So things like this, 45 results, we have found 45 businesses, etc. That is when they don't actually have a meta description, and Google has instead just pulled some information from the page. So it's a lot less optimized, and gives a lot less. If a potential client's reading that, if it's not optimized, there's a lot less likelihood that they'll actually click on your listing. And it's pretty well recognized these days that if you're people are consistently not clicking on your listing, then chances are you're going to move down the search rankings, because that's a pretty big sign to Google that your particular listing isn't really relevant for the search that it's shown up in, and it will kind of penalize you for that. So if we get a nice title, nice description in there, we give ourselves every chance to show up in that section. We will be adding the stars at a later date, but for the moment, for this video, we'll just work on the meta title and the meta description. So let's jump over to the website. And I've just gone on to the pages pages tab, and then we'll go into each particular one. But what I'd like to do is start with the most important. So as you can see, the system, once we installed the SEO plugin, it has automatically created some. Let's just go down to the section. Yoast SEO. It has automatically created some information here, and it's just used the title of the page and followed by the the brand. But we're going to actually do this manually. Okay. Okay, so my normal format for this is to go the stonemasons Brisbane, so the actual keyword, followed by the brand, and then I like to follow it with a unique selling point. This is a little bit harder when for this type of website where we don't have a lot of, it's not necessarily a real business, so we don't have, we can't talk to the owner and say, what do you do well that we can highlight here. So we'll just have to make something up or use something a little bit generic. Okay, so you'll notice that this is in the green section here. That's just Yoast showing you that we have, roughly speaking, the right amount of characters. So that so if we go back to stonemasons Brisbane, you'll see that there's a good example. So here's one here where it's the title has actually been cut off. That's essentially because they've used too many characters. So anything that you've written, you might have something awesome behind there, but we'll never know, and no one will ever see it, so it's not going to kind of help in any way. Okay, so let's jump back. Okay, so meta description. Let's have a quick look and see what type of things that people are writing about in the meta descriptions. I'll skip the council one and the yellow pages. Okay, so just kind of reading a few of these to get some ideas. Okay. Sorry, just tidying this up. Okay. Not sure how many characters we have left there. Let's see if I can have room to put in a phone number. Okay, so that's that one done. Okay, that's and we've updated the page now, so let's go back to our pages section. Okay, so you can see this one has been updated. All right, let's move on to the next one. Sorry, just back on this one. Okay, so Yoast is going to, they have kind of a traffic light system that is going to give you scores for different things. I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's usually not particularly great. So yeah, you can use the traffic light system for the character limits, but I wouldn't worry too much about the scores that it gives you for your SEO and that type of thing. Because but basically you can have the worst score here in the world and quite easily rank number one for a keyword because Yoast isn't always necessarily they're great at creating these tools for to help you use WordPress better, but they're not necessarily great at SEO. So that's something that I wouldn't worry too much about. Okay, so let's do Stonewalls Brisbane. Okay, so again, it's created something for us, but we just want to expand it a little bit because we're not currently using very much real estate. our content here doesn't have to be completely unique. We can, we can use something very similar to what we did last time, except obviously the keyword will be different. So that's not too big of a issue. Okay, now meta description. Okay, so that's another one. Let's update that. Always remember to update so you don't lose your progress. Back to our pages tab. Okay. So I'm just working through these in order and making sure I get the ones that are covering excuse me, that are covering keywords, just in case I run out of time today. Okay. Don't have as much room in this one, so okay. One came a little bit quicker. It's always nice and slow when you're doing the content writing and have to come up with different things on the spot. Okay, so Headstones Brisbane, this is the next one. Again, the pictures don't really match the keyword, but that's not the end of the world. We'll worry about that a little bit later. Let's just one Headstones Brisbane. Apply and install sounds a little bit callous for what we're talking about, but I think it's probably fine. Makes it sound like a garage door and not a headstone, but that's okay. Okay, so I think that's the last of our service pages. So we do have to do all the pages, even the privacy policy and that type of thing, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm not really trying to rank this particular page for anything, so I'm just going to move the brand to the front because the About Us page is more about the brand. Actually, I'll do... Okay, so that's the About Us. Back to our pages section. Okay, next is Contact Us. It's again pretty similar. We're not really trying to rank it, but we still have to, it's better if we still fill out this information. Okay. Nearly there. Free to go. The home page is kind of an interesting one. So I guess the issue with the homepage is it's generally speaking the most powerful page on the website, but in this case we're trying to have it not compete with our inner pages, because we could quite easily try and rank the same keyword, the Stonemasons Brisbane keyword with our homepage, but we really don't want it to compete with our inner page, which will get to the top a lot easier. So this would get to the front page a lot easier, but the inner page will get to the top a lot easier, and we don't want them competing against each other, because that kind of tends to hold them both back a little bit. Okay, so where are we here? Okay, so I'm just going to use KM Masons on this one, not Stonemasons, just because I'm trying to keep the Stonemason keyword out of it. And I'll leave it a little bit short, that's fine. Actually, I'll have a think about this one a little bit more while I write the meta description. This will be very similar to the previous page. Okay, so I've just expanded that out a little bit. Okay, let's go back to our pages. I think we've got 2 to go. Again, this services page, we're really not trying to rank for everything. It's just kind of a page that ties a few of the other things we're doing together. So although we have to complete it, it's not a big deal, and we're not trying to jam any particular keywords in here. We're just trying to fill it up and kind of tick Google's boxes, I guess you could say. You will notice I'm using the brand a lot. Branding is incredibly important in SEO. If you don't, if you don't have a strong brand presence on Google, and Google isn't giving you that brand value, then you're never going to kind of rank for anything else. So if you can't kind of not just rank for your brand, but kind of really dominate your brand with your different entities, then yeah, you don't stand a chance on any of the bigger keywords that you're trying to rank for. Okay, so it's probably a little bit on the short side, but that's okay. As I said, we're not trying to rank this page for anything in particular. Okay, one to go. Okay. This page will probably end up getting no indexed anyway, but just for to kind of get everything completed, we'll just finish it off. I believe it is in draft stage currently, but it will be published. So, okay. Masons. Okay, excellent. So that is all our metas for our pages. They're all sorted out now. So that's kind of this one ticked off. So we might end this video here, and we will continue with our on-site process in the next video. Still plenty more that we need to cover. So we will see you in the next video.